You are more than 60 years old. Eat this before sleeping to avoid anxiety crisis. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with an accelerated heart, feeling that you lack the air, and with a sense of imminent danger that you cannot explain? That oppression in the chest that seems to be crushed, while your mind is filled with accelerated thoughts that you cannot control. Your hands tremble, you feel a cold sweat traveling your back, and no matter how much you try to breathe deep, it seems that oxygen does not reach your lungs. It is 3 in the morning, and there you are, sitting on the edge of the bed, waiting for that inner storm to calm down, wondering if you should call someone or if this will happen like so many times. Night anxiety is particularly cruel when you are over 60 years old, because it mixes with other concerns of this stage: health, loneliness, changes in the body, uncertainty about the future. And the worst part is that these crises seem to intensify just when you need to rest, stealing that repair dream you need so much to maintain your physical and mental health. Maybe you have tried medications that leave you stunned the next day, or maybe you have tried to ignore these episodes waiting for them to disappear alone. But every night, that apprehension returns to bed, that fear that this could be another night of insomnia and anguish. It is as if your own body and mind conspire against you just when we are more vulnerable in the stillness and darkness of the night. But I have good news for you. These episodes of night anxiety that affect so many people over 60 do not have to be part of your daily life. Science has discovered a natural, accessible, and surprisingly effective solution that is helping thousands of older adults to recover their quiet nights. In today's video, we will reveal a specific food that, consumed before sleeping, has shown significantly reduce the episodes of night anxiety and improve sleep quality in people over 60 years. It is not a medicine with side effects, or a complicated technique that requires months of practice. It is a simple solution, backed by recent research, which you can implement this night. I will explain exactly what it is, how it works in your brain, the recommended doses, and the best way to incorporate it into your night routine. So I invite you to see this video until the end, because the information I will share could completely transform your nights, and therefore, the quality of your days. Before continuing, if you are experiencing these symptoms and looking for relief, I ask you to leave a comment below telling us, "I want to recover my calm nights." This will help us to know that this information is reaching those who really need it, and will motivate us to continue investigating and share solutions to improve the quality of life of older adults. If you are looking for natural and effective ways to handle anxiety and improve your being at this important stage of life, our channel is a safe space created especially. Every week we share simple techniques, natural remedies, and strategies that have helped thousands of people over 60 years of age to recover their tranquility and fully enjoy this stage. We are together on this path, and every step you take towards your well-being is important. I invite you to click on the subscription button and activate notifications to receive our videos as soon as we publish. Remember, you don't have to face anxiety alone, and small changes such as the one we will share today can make a huge difference in your quality of life. Now let's enter the subject. The food that has proven to be extremely effective to reduce night anxiety in people over 60 are kiwi. Yes, this small, peculiar-looking fruit keeps a secret that science is just beginning to value in its entire dimension. A study by researchers from the University of Taiwan discovered that consuming 2 kiwis 1 hour before bedtime significantly improved sleep quality in adults with sleeping problems. Participants experienced a 35% increase in their total sleep time and a 42% reduction over time to fall asleep. But the most surprising thing was that those who suffered from night anxiety reported a drastic decrease in the frequency and intensity of their episodes of anguish during the night. And do you know why it works especially well in people over 60 years? Because as we age, our body produces less serotonin and melatonin, 2 essential neurotransmitters to regulate our mood and sleep cycle. Kiwi is one of the few foods that contains high concentrations of serotonin naturally, in addition to being rich in antioxidants, vitamin C and vitamin E, which fight oxidative stress that affects our brain with age. In addition, kiwi contains a unique enzyme called actinidine that helps digestion of proteins, which means that it will not cause that feeling of heaviness that other foods can cause when consumed before sleeping. This is particularly important for older people who usually have more sensitive digestive systems. By facilitating digestion, kiwi allows your body to enter into a deeper state of relaxation, creating the ideal conditions for a repair dream without interruptions caused by anxiety or digestive discomfort. It is as if nature had specifically designed this fruit to be the perfect ally of our nights. I need to pause here and ask you something important. At what time do you usually experience greater anxiety? Each person lives anxiety in a unique way, and sharing this experience can be the first step to understand it better and find more personalized solutions. I know that maybe you have never talked about this with anyone. You may think that no one would understand, or that your feelings are not important, but I want you to know that here, in this space, your experience matters deeply. I invite you to leave us a comment by completing the phrase, "My anxiety usually appears when..." Your courage when sharing could be exactly what another person needs to read today to feel less alone in their fight. And in our next video, we will specifically address those moments you share with us. This is a mutual support community, where every word of yours is received with respect and understanding. Continuing with our natural solution, it is important to understand exactly how to incorporate the kiwi into your night routine to obtain the best results. The optimal dose according to the studies is 2 medium kiwis, consumed approximately 1 hour before bedtime. But it's not just about eating fruit quickly. I recommend you turn this moment into a small ritual that marks the transition to rest. You can sit in your favorite place, perhaps with a dim light, while slowly enjoying the kiwis, savoring each bite, and being aware that you are doing something positive for your health. This moment of full attention not only increases the benefits of kiwi, but in itself acts as a relaxation technique that prepares your mind for rest. Some of our followers have reported additional benefits when combining kiwi with a light infusion of chamomile or melissa, 2 floors with soothing properties that perfectly complement the effect of the kiwi. However, if you take sleep or tranquilizers, it is important to consult with your doctor before implementing any natural solution, since there could be interactions. Now, you may be wondering, what if I don't like kiwis or am I allergic to them? Fortunately, there are alternatives that, although not as powerful as kiwi, can also help reduce night anxiety. Cherries, for example, are another fruit rich in natural melatonin and antioxidant. A handful of cherries or a small glass of acid cherry juice can be an excellent alternative. Bananas are also a good option, since they contain tryptophan, a serotonin precursor, as well as magnesium and potassium that relax the muscles. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Sleep Research found that older adults who increased their consumption of fruits rich in antioxidants and minerals experienced a general improvement in the quality of their dream and a reduction in the symptoms of night anxiety, regardless of the specific fruit consumed. The important thing is to find an option that you like and that you can consistently incorporate your routine. A fascinating aspect of the kiwi that few know is their ability to regulate blood glucose levels. Sugar fluctuations during the night are a common cause of awakenings and anxiety in older adults, especially in those with a predisposition to diabetes or insulin resistance. By stabilizing glucose levels, kiwi helps maintain a balanced metabolic state throughout the night, avoiding those sudden awakenings that are usually accompanied by panic sensation. A study conducted at the University of Oslo discovered that regular kiwi consumption before sleeping reduced the episodes of night awakening caused by metabolic fluctuations in adults over 65 years. This is an additional benefit that makes kiwi an option superior to many other recommended foods to combat insomnia and anxiety. It is important to mention that, although kiwi is generally safe for most people, there are always exceptions. If you take anticoagulant medications such as warfarin, you must consult with your doctor before significantly increasing your kiwi consumption, since this fruit contains vitamin K that can interfere with these medications. Also, although it is rare, some people may be allergic to kiwi. If you experience itching in the mouth, swelling, or any adverse reaction after consuming kiwi, suspend its use immediately and consult a health professional. Security should always be our priority, and each body is unique in its food response, even those as beneficial as kiwi. Another relevant aspect about kiwi is its versatility. You don't have to just eat it alone and raw. You can incorporate it into a small night dessert, such as a couple with natural sugar yolk, which provides beneficial probiotics for intestinal health, another factor that influences anxiety, and a teaspoon of honey. You can also prepare a light smoothie mixing kiwi with a little almond milk and a pinch of cinnamon, another spice with soothing and blood sugar regulatory property. These variations not only make kiwi consumption more pleasant for those who do not enjoy sole fruit, but can also enhance its beneficial effects when combining it with other ingredients that favor rest and reduce anxiety. A testimony that I would like to share with you is Carmela's, a 72-year-old follower who wrote us after implementing the kiwi ritual for 3 consecutive weeks. Carmela had suffered from night anxiety for more than a decade since her husband died. He had tried several medications that left him stunned during the day, affecting his quality of life. After starting his kiwi ritual every night, he noticed gradual but significant changes. For the 3rd week, their anxiety episodes had decreased from 4 or 5 per week to only 1 occasional and of less intensity. The most shocking thing about his testimony was when he told us, "For the first time in years, I am no longer afraid at night. I no longer sleep with that knot in my stomach anticipating another night of struggle. I have regained confidence in my ability to rest." Stories like Carmela are what motivates us to continue investigating and sharing these natural solutions that can transform lives so deeply. The science behind kiwi as a natural anxiolytic is increasingly solid. A recent meta-analysis published in the magazine Nutrients reviewed 14 studies that examined the effect of various foods on anxiety and sleep disorder. Kiwi emerged as one of the foods with greater scientific evidence of effectiveness, especially for adults. The researchers identified a specific compound in the kiwi called folate, who works in synergy with serotonin to regulate moods. This folate is particularly important for older adults, since its absorption decreases with age, and its deficiency has been associated with higher rates of depression and anxiety. Regular kiwi consumption provides a bioavailable folate source, contributing to improved mental health in a general way, beyond its specific effects on sleep and night anxiety. Something that few know is that the type of kiwi can also make a difference. Although both green kiwi and golden kiwi are beneficial, some studies suggest that golden kiwi can have slightly higher concentrations of serotonin and vitamin C. However, green kiwi tends to have a higher antioxidant content. If you have access to both varieties, an interesting strategy could be to alternate them, or even consume one of each type before sleeping, thus maximizing the spectrum of nutrients you receive. However, if you only have access to a variety, do not worry. Any type of kiwi will provide significant benefits to reduce night anxiety and improve your rest. It is also fascinating to consider how the kiwi interacts with our circadian rhythm, that internal clock that regulates our sleep and vigil cycle. As we get older, this circadian rhythm tends to be discouraged, which contributes to sleep problems and night anxiety. The kiwi components, especially their natural phytochemical, seem to help readjust this internal clock, synchronize it again with the natural cycles of light and darkness. A longitudinal study in New Zealand found that older adults consumed regularly before sleeping for a period of 3 months showed a gradual normalization of their circadian rhythm, measured through hormonal markers such as cortisol and melatonin. This readjustment contributes not only to a better dream, but also to a general improvement of health, since a balanced circadian rhythm positively affects almost all body systems, from the digestive to the immune. Another aspect to consider is the preparation of kiwi. To obtain maximum benefit, it is advisable to consume it at room temperature, not cold directly from the refrigerator. This is because cold foods can slightly slow down digestion and reduce nutrient absorption. In addition, many people do not know that kiwi's skin is completely edible and contains a high concentration of fiber and additional nutrients. If the texture does not dislike, consuming the kiwi with skin can enhance its beneficial effects. Just be sure to wash the fruit well before. For those who prefer not to eat the skin, peel the kiwi and let it stand at room temperature for about 15-20 minutes before consuming it. Allows their enzymes to be fully activated, maximizing their anxiolytic property. A perfect complement to the kiwi ritual is the practice of conscious breathing while consumed. Something as simple as making 5 deep breaths before your first bite, concentrating on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your lungs, can significantly amplify the relaxing effects of the kiwi. This practice activates the parasympathetic nervous system, known as the rest and digestion system, preparing your body to optimally assimilate the nutrients of the kiwi and enter a state of deep calm. Several studies have shown that combining natural anxiolytic foods with conscious breathing technique can increase its effectiveness by up to 40%, creating a synergistic effect that is greater than the sum of its parts. When talking about night anxiety in older adults, it is important to recognize that it often has multifactorial roots. While kiwi can be a powerful tool to handle it, obtaining the best results generally requires a comprehensive approach. Complementing kiwi consumption with other healthy practices can magnify its benefits. For example, maintain a constant routine when bedtime, reduce exposure to screens at least 1 hour before sleeping, and create an environment conducive to rest with dim light and pleasant temperature. Some of our followers have reported extraordinary results by combining their kiwi ritual with a brief session of soft stretching or a few minutes of guided meditation. Remember that every small positive step is added, creating a cumulative effect that can completely transform your night experience. A recent finding that deserves attention is the interaction between kiwi and the intestinal microbiota. The scientific community is increasingly aware of the powerful connection between our intestine and our brain, which is known as the intestine-brain axis. Natural prebiotics present in kiwi nourish beneficial bacteria in our intestine, which in turn produce neurotransmitters that directly affect our mood and anxiety levels. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that older adults consumed regularly showed a significant increase in the diversity of their intestinal microbiota, with a particular increase in bacterial species associated with the production of GABA, a neurotransmitter with powerful anxiolytic effects. This discovery suggests that part of the soothing effect of kiwi may be due to its ability to optimize our intestinal health. a benefit that accumulates and enhances regular consumption. It is important to mention that, although kiwi begins to exert beneficial effects since the first night, its maximum efficiency is achieved with consistent consumption over time. Studies indicate that most people begin to notice significant improvements after 7–10 days of regular consumption. This cumulative effect is due to the way in which kiwi bioactive compounds are gradually saturating our systems, creating lasting changes in our brain chemistry and hormonal balance. That is why we recommend committing to this habit for at least 2 weeks to completely evaluate its benefits. Many of our followers report that by the end of the second week, they have not only experienced a dramatic reduction in their episodes of night anxiety, but also improvements in their general mood during the day, greater mental clarity, and more stable energy levels. A practical aspect to consider is how to maintain a constant supply of mature kiwi and ready to consume. A useful strategy is to buy kiwis in different maturation states. Some ready to eat immediately, and others firm that will mature in the next few days. If you want to accelerate the maturation process of a kiwi, you can place it in a paper bag along with an apple or banana, fruits that release ethylene, a natural hormone that promotes maturation. On the other hand, mature kiwis can be kept in the refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. For those who live in areas where access to fresh kiwi is limited or expensive, dehydrated kiwi retains many of its nutrients and can be a practical alternative, although the benefits are something lower than with fresh fruit. It is fascinating to observe how solutions as simple and natural as kiwi consumption can have such deep effects on our mental health and quality of life. In an era where we often seek complex and expensive responses for our health problem, these ancestral remedies, now backed by modern science, remind us of the inherent wisdom of returning to the basics, to which nature offers us. Every time we incorporate these functional foods into our diet, we are not only nourishing our body, but also honoring that deep connection that we have with the natural world, a connection that we often forget in our modern life, but that remains fundamental for our integral well-being. Another factor to consider is the sustainability of this solution. Unlike many anxiety medications, which can generate dependence or lose their effectiveness over time, kiwi and other functional foods can be consumed indefinitely without adverse effects. In fact, many users report that the benefits tend to increase over time, as the body rebalances and optimizes their response to these natural nutrients. This long-term sustainability makes kiwi a particularly attractive option for older adults seeking solutions that can permanently incorporate their lifestyle, without worrying about cumulative side effects or the need to constantly increase doses, as with many pharmacological anxiolytics. A question that we frequently received is whether kiwi can interact negatively with common medications taken by older adults. In addition to the precaution already mentioned with anticoagulants, it is important to know that kiwi generally does not interact with most blood pressure, cholesterol, or diabetes. In fact, some studies suggest that it can positively complement the treatment of these conditions due to their anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. However, as with any change in your diet, if you take medication regularly, it is wise to mention your doctor that you are incorporating kiwi to your night routine. This is especially important if you take medications for anxiety or insomnia, since eventually, with the improvement of your symptoms, it could be possible to gradually reduce these medications under medical supervision. Let me share another inspiring testimony that we received from Manuel, a 68-year-old retired teacher. Manuel had dealt with nightly anxiety since his retirement, a common phenomenon when a significant change in daily routine is experienced. His anxiety was manifested mainly as ruminative thoughts about past decisions and concerns about his relevance in this new stage of life. After implementing the kiwi ritual for a month, he wrote to us, "I have not only noticed a reduction in my episodes of night anxiety, but my dream is deeper and more repair. Begun to expand this conscious approach to other areas of my life." Testimonies such as Manuel illustrate how a seemingly small change can trigger a much broader transformation in our relationship with ourselves and our well-being. While we approach at the end of this video, I would like to emphasize an important point. Night anxiety is not an inevitable part of age. Too often, the deterioration of sleep is normalized, and the increase in anxiety in older adults, as if they were simply things that happen when one ages. This narrative is not only incorrect, but deeply harmful, since it can deter many people from looking for solutions. The truth is that with the appropriate strategies, such as regular kiwi consumption before sleeping, combined with other healthy habits that we have discussed, it is absolutely possible to enjoy calm and repairing nights at any age. Your brain maintains a remarkable plasticity, even in the elderly, and is perfectly able to learn new relaxation and rest patterns when you provide the right tools. Before saying goodbye, I want to remind you of the importance of patience and consistency. Like any positive health change, the results may vary from person to person, and some nights will be better than others. The important thing is to maintain constancy and observe the general trend over time. It has a small newspaper where you write down how you feel every morning when you wake up, describing the quality of your dream and the level of anxiety experienced during the night. After 3 or 4 weeks, check these annotations and see if there is an improvement pattern. This practice will not only help you objectively evaluate the benefits of Kiwi, but will also allow you to identify other factors that may be affecting your rest, such as particular stressful events or changes in your routine. If this video has been useful and you are experiencing with the power of Kiwi to combat night anxiety, we would love to know your experience. I invite you to leave a comment below, sharing your results or any questions. Your experience not only helps us to continue improving our content, but can also inspire others in similar situations to take that first step towards calmer nights. In addition, if you know someone over 60 who could benefit from this information, do not hesitate to share this video. Sometimes, the smallest gesture can have the deepest impact on the life of someone who is fighting silently with night anxiety. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications to receive more practical advice on how to improve your welfare naturally in this wonderful stage of life. Every week we share new research, remedies, and strategies specifically designed for the needs of older adults. We are together on this trip to full and healthy aging, and your presence in this community is invaluable. Remember, it's never too late to claim your calm nights and wake up every morning with the energy and clarity you deserve. Thank you for accompanying us today, and until our next meeting, that you have serene nights and days full of vitality.